We're in a place they call the American Airlines Arena in downtown Miami, Florida. Right on the water, the home of the for the Miami Heat. They come into tonight's game after the loss to Orlando.
And really lucky that they weren't blown.
Stoudemire's checked in for Whiteside. Winslow comes in for Gerald Green. And Freak subbed in for Goran Dragic. So for Toronto right now, Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Ross in at the 3 slot. Shot clock at 5. From the arc. Cannot hit. And it's Miami the other way. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
And on paper, you call them the better team, but they actually lost the season series against this group a year ago.
Yeah, it was a surprising outcome for me and you. But, hey, sometimes matchups can play out a certain way. We'll see how they do tonight.
And Freak throws it down.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Greg, it's hard to imagine they'll stay this hot for 4 quarters, but if they even approximate that, watch out.
Really left alone that time.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
2 shots coming up. The 2K leaderboard provides us now with this list of last season's assist leaders. 4th, Kyle Lowry.
Very few guys pass the ball better than he did. I mean, he didn't just have eyes in the back of his head. It's almost as if he had them on both sides, too.
A different look for Miami. Jarnell Stokes comes in for Chris Bosh. And it's Roberson in for Luol Deng. A new group in now for the Raptors. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Johnson comes in for Patrick Patterson. Damari Carroll's checked in for Ross. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Kyle Lowry. There's the bucket. Good. Johnson's got his first basket.
And he found the soft spot in the D on that possession.
Now here's Freak. Defense is right there. Lays it up and banks it in.
They got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
It's been a complete technical dominant performance out here. They are in a zone.
Inside. And stolen by Freak. To the wing on the left. 1:02 left here in the first quarter. The high post shot, and it's Miami with another.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. They double in with Freak. Here's Scola. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Scola's got his second differential between the shot clock and game clock. And that one's good. Freak.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart. And let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
Now here's DeRozan. He's guarded closely. And stolen by Freak. By himself. And as the first quarter. And DeMar DeRozan, star for this Toronto Raptors team, he said he wants to bring them back.
A lot of people never really pay no attention to the Raptors. They just look at the Raptors like another team, you know. So when I came, you know, I just wanted to bring that feeling.
Let's face it, it's never easy for Toronto to get the attention that Clark, the U.S. teams get. That's just a fact of life that even Vince Carter at his best couldn't change.
And, you know, I don't even know if winning a championship would change that. Quite honestly, even if DeMar won the MVP. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's his first personal foul.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Heat?
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So for Toronto right now, Lowry out there with Corey Joseph. Then it's James Johnson. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Carroll in at the small forward. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Magic was simply terrific. He finished with 27 points, and there weren't too many shots that didn't fall for him. Really efficient night from the field. Overall, just an incredible bonus for his team as he made a big impact coming off the bench.
All right, Doris, thank you. He played at a level that very few players are capable of playing.
And, you know, I'll be interested to see how much he's got left in the tank. I mean, that performance had to take a lot out of him.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes supreme confidence can increase your stamina and endurance. So I'll be interested to see how that affects his play.
Now, here is Lowry. He has 5. Valanciunas sets a screen for Lowry. Just 5 on the clock. With a step back. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Well, that's an excellent challenge right there. Good job contesting that shot by the defender.
Bosch, a screen on Lowry. Freak kicks to Green. Dang dishes to Freak. The Heat need to get a shot off. No good from Bosch.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Back to Lowry. They get a hand on it. In transition, here comes Miami. Freak with the ball. Dang with the bucket.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Okay, Miami, now coming on the board are your Heat answers. Let them hear ya.
Goran Dragic is checked in for the Heat. And so that brings the first half to a close. Heat out front. They lead.
I'm alongside Coach Casey, and Coach, you guys are getting torched out there tonight. What's going on?
I don't know what has happened, but our defensive concentration will.
Okay, guys, solid play so far. I like what I'm seeing. But just a few things to talk about before the second half. First things first, how about the job we've done in the paint offensively? It was men against boys down there. We've had our way with them. Our focus has to be operating as much as possible from the low block. Ball security was probably our high point. Let's continue to keep a tight handle on the ball and not try to thread too many needles with our...
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if the Heat making a switch here. Freak's checked in. Raptors trail by 10. Dang and Bosch, your small and power forwards. Green is out there with Freak, and it's Whiteside in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group in the game for the Heat.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today. There's a glaring discrepancy between these teams in that area of the game.
And it's been the difference. That's what's enabled them to build such a big lead, no doubt about it.
And stolen by Freak. To the middle. Green kicks to Freak. And there's another one for the Heat.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Lowry passes to Valanciunas. That one a little long. Miami leading by 15. There's the lob to the hoop.
And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. They need this, and it's sent back by Bosch. And a wide-open look for Freak. And there's another one for the Heat.
And it's all one-way traffic tonight, boy. They have been lights out offensively.
And there's no telling how big that lead's going to get. But, again, it's just one game, but nonetheless a very impressive one, the way they've handled their business here.
Winslow's checked in for Luol Deng. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Raptors moving the ball around, and Lowry gets it to go.
What are they thinking, leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
Here's Whiteside, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
This is a nice third-quarter surge here. They've got it.
Time to get hot, just as we get into the meat of the second half here.
And DeRozan, here we go. Here's Valanciunas, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
That's his third personal foul.
The Raptors haven't yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5.
2 shots.
First one falls for him. And the Heat with some changes. Amari Stoudemire, who's checked in for Whiteside. Jarnell Stokes comes in for Chris Bosh. And it's Andre Robertson in for Green. Raptors also changing it up. James Johnson's checked in for Patterson. Damari Carroll comes in for Ross. And Corey Joseph subbed in for DeMar DeRozan.
Their interior defense has been dismal.
Yeah, they're losing the battle in the paint.
And here is Joseph. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Clock is at 3. And again, Toronto no luck. The Heat leading by 18. Shoots the 3. And again, Miami with the triple.
Well, there's hot guys, and then there's really hot. They just can't miss.
You know, Greg, sometimes you'll see an individual guy go on a shooting tear like this, but the whole squad, wow.
We got to be more physical on defense. They are getting to the middle of the floor way too easy. Get into them on the perimeter.
A terrific season. 4th in assists. And he was also one of the league's most aggressive ball-hawking defenders, finishing top 5 in steals.
And as you mentioned, I mean, dishing out dimes at a top 5 pace, he was in total command of the offense last season.
The Raptors making a switch here. Scola's checked in. Now here's Joseph. He's guarded closely. And now Winslow pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And looking out, the hustle game has been going for the Heat.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
50 seconds left to play here in the third.
Move the ball and stick it.
There's the pick. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
New group in for the Heat. Whiteside's checked in for Stoudemire. Wash comes in for Jarnell Stokes. Green, he's checked in for Winslow. And Freak subbed in for Andre Robertson. A new group in now for the Raptors. Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Scola. Patterson comes in for James Johnson. Terrence Ross is checked in for DeMarre Carroll. And it's DeRozan in for Joseph. So for Toronto right now, DeRozan at the 2 with Ross playing the 3. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Lowry in at the 5.
Take a look at what Hassan Whiteside's done. He's got 8 points, and he's blocked a shot today as well.
And he's clearly showing off his smarts in a few ways today. That block just being one of them. Just a savvy basketball player. No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Bosh, the screen. And stolen by Patterson. And now the fast break. Ross with the ball from 8. Again, Toronto.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
Dragic dishes to Freak. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. And DeRozan kicks to Lowry. Valanciunas with a screen on Dragic. Here's DeRozan, and another basket for Toronto.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Well, it was Toronto winning their last game against Indiana.
Move the ball and stick it to
Now here's Freak. DeRozan defending. And Freak throws it down hard.
Showcasing his skills with that slam.
He knows how to put the exclamation point on those, doesn't he? Man, oh man.
Does he ever?
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam.
Kyle Lowry with a beautiful setup.
The Heat leading by 18.
You got it. Let's get the ball inside.
Here's Freak. Patterson bringing the double. And Dragic has it in the corner from 11 feet away. And it's Bosh, that time on the assist by Dragic. And it's 6 points for Chris Bosh. The Raptors have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Right side, DeRozan. Valanciunas, good.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And I'd be interested to know just how many of these attempts have come from inside of 5 feet.
Now here's Freak, guarded closely to the inside. Whiteside.
Really just continuing to increase the lead. This one should be easy for the rest of the way.
Yeah, and you know, Greg, at this late stage, a lead like that.
We need to calm down. We're taking too many
about
shots.
itself, and deservedly so.
Let's get some ball movement.
And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and Clark the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
Well, I think these fans, too, Kevin, gave their team a tremendous lift. I mean, they never gave up on them. From the opening tip until the end of the game, they were in it. And that certainly helped this crew get to the W.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, guys, I'm here with Goran Dragic. And Goran, what a nice show the team put on for your fans tonight.
Yeah, great win for us, for our fans. They were amazing. This kind of games is really enjoying to play. We are hustling on every play, defense and offense, and I'm really happy that we won that game.
You enjoyed it, and we enjoyed it. Thank you, Goran. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan player of the game, Freak. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor. What'd you like about his performance, Shaq?
Seeing Freak dominate the way he did tonight reminded me of watching him play in high school. He was a man among boys. He was a 4-time consensus All-American back then. Overall, great game.
Ernie, that is the definition of domination. He took them to school tonight in every possible way. I know there's 10 players on the court, but I only noticed one.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson joined by Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. It's basketball out in Memphis, FedEx Forum to be exact. We'll see the Grizzlies go up against the Miami Heat. For Miami, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. Well, Coach Dave Yeager on the bench for the Grizzlies, as always. He's a coach who completely embodies the roster and franchise that he works for. Kenny, what can you say about Yeager's approach and how he handles his team?
He's not a guy that's going to be flapping his arms around. He's very quiet, hardworking, probably overlooked on how good a coach he is because his demeanor is so calm. But he's got a very practical approach, everything he does. He's not flashy, but he's very effective, guys.
He embraces analytics, and he wants things to be backed up with facts when he's making his decisions.
Do you embrace
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. Greg Anthony with Doris Burke on our sideline. Here in Memphis, we have an interconference matchup with the Grizzlies looking to create some cheers for this crowd. This game against Miami here, their first look at the Heat. They controlled everything in both games last year, going 2-0. Here's Freak. A 26-point game for him in the win against Toronto.
And how about how opportunistic he was defensively? Steal after steal for him in that game just showed the quickness of his hands and anticipation.
On the floor for Miami, the big men are Bosch and Whiteside. Dragic is out there with Freak, and it's Dang in at the three, the small forward.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Freak. And both free throws good from Freak.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I briefly spoke with Dave Yeager. He knows they've got to really dig in defensively, facing a very talented offense. He said if you let them get going, they can run off a big lead and really put you behind the 8 ball. We've got to be disciplined, work together, and be prepared to make second, third, and fourth efforts. Whatever it takes to get a stop, that's what we'll have to do. Kevin, we'll see if they can get a win in this, their first matchup of the season.
And Doris, thank you as always. And of course, facing an offense like this, you really have to be aware at all times of the weapons they throw at you.
Yeah, and they can light it up when they get it going. It's going to take a top-notch effort defensively to keep them in check.
And you know what? I think they're up for it. I like to hear Coach acknowledging the challenge they're facing. They know what they're in for.
And it's good. Conley's got his first basket of the night. For Miami, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Right side a screen. Here's Freak. And the Heat, another 3.
Well, I think this is the start they wanted. Come out and put some points up early. 3 of 4 so far.
Allen outside. Back to Conley. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Now here's Freak, covered by Conley. Now Freak, 10 points for him. Clock at 6. And that one comes up a bit short.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
Yeah, strong move to the basket there. Nice power to get that up and in.
From deep. Can't hit, and it's Memphis the other way. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
And the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. I mean, after a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, that's what will happen when a team continues to attack the basket and come away with layups. The defense tends to get demoralized and deflated.
Right side a screen. They need this, and it's good. 3 points on the board on the shot from Freak. Freak's got 13.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Bosch against Randolph. Green kicks to Conley. Up and in on the layup. Conley's got his 3rd bucket of the night. Clark, a lot of give and take between these sides early.
Kevin, how about 6 lead changes in this half already?
Yeah, and both teams look like they can't.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing.
He had a strong showing last season. 3rd in rebounding and a top 15 ranking in blocks per game, supplying that backline protection that is so key to a great defense.
And as you said, a top 3 rebounder last year. He just seems to know how the shot's going to come off the rim and always hustles to get there.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Samuel Dallenberg, who's checked in for Gasol. Wright comes in for Zach Randolph. And it's Adams in for Allen. Wade misses.
Oh, boy, that would have been a nice alley-oop.
Boy, really like the thought on that play, but Didn't quite get it executed. Almost made a spectacular play.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it. And, Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
And here are the Heat now. The Heat with the lead. There's 39 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And Freak throws it down.
And ran his man straight into the screen and got a clear path to the bucket.
That is how it is done.
Excellent team play there on the pick, and then he rips it down.
We've got 28 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Conley gets the bucket.
It's like everybody is in a rhythm right now. Incredible stuff here early on.
Both teams playing downhill. You know, coaches say that all the time. You want to play downhill. Well, at some point you think somebody's got to cool off in this one, right?
Here's White, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
This has been a thriller. You cannot say enough about the way these two teams have competed.
All indications, Greg, are that this game is going down to the wire. I mean, I'd be surprised, actually shocked, if it ended any other way.
The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. It's the Heat. They lead by 2. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. And the Grizzlies, a team that's dealt with their share of tough playoff losses. But, you know, you talked to point guard Mike Conley, and as he told us before the game, he still feels a championship is within. One big reason why not them is what happened to Conley. Greg, losing him in the playoffs last year was the biggest adversity they went through. Can you make a case that it just made them tougher, or did it really take something out of them?
You know, Kevin, it's really hard to say. A tough break, obviously. Losing Mike, and I mean that literally as well, but their problems did set them back, and maybe they can be just as good as anybody else, but until they are, they're going to have some issues.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Heat?
It's all about the depth, really. The bench has been the difference. The bench play really has separated these two teams.
Yeah, it's been a huge advantage for them. That bench has really made a nice contribution.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Handoff is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Conley out there with Adams. And it's Allen in at the free spot. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Raptors was simply terrific. He dropped in 26 points and was just a menace defensively and came away with a bunch of steals. Just numbers that really jump out at you in a box score.
And thank you, Doris. It was a performance that has to have their upcoming opponents terrified.
Yeah, I think they'll be a little afraid. I mean, anybody who saw that game has to still be in awe of what he was able to do. Just absolutely dominant.
Boy, I tell you, he was in such a rhythm and on a roll. He could have won that game all by himself. And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now, they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
That's good. And now a 9-point Heat lead.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Conley kicks to Gasol. The 3. Conley's shot is off. Looking at Miami, they took their win in their last game against the Raptors.
And I believe what that game came down to was their ability to really knock down those triples.
Yeah, I thought work they did on the perimeter was excellent. It was just too much for that defense, or really any defense for that matter, to handle.
To the middle, and it's Green with the jam.
How can you describe an alley-oop that far away? I mean, wow.
There's not much you can say.
I tell you what, that was Hail to Mary, guys. That was a long bomb.
All right, Memphis, you got your Grizz girls on the floor. Give them a nice round of applause.
Hasbro's checked in for Jordan Adams. And Miami with a change here, too. Goran Dragic is checked in for Freak. And so that brings the first half to a close. Heat out front. They finish off the second quarter on a 10-1 run. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne, what about your defense do you need to sustain here into the second half?
That's what's going to win this game for us. You know, it's a good offensive team. We can't give a second chance points. We can't come out in the second half and turn the ball over. So we're going to win on the defensive end.
Dwayne, thank you, guys. He knows the job is just half done.
Thank you, Doris, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
All right, listen up, everybody. The second half doesn't have to be as close as the first if we pay attention to a couple of things. Our passing has been very precise. I'll give you guys a lot of credit for that. We've been extremely smart with the ball, basically haven't given them any gifts whatsoever. If there was a real positive to be found,
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Memphis making a change here. Adams checked in. Freaks checked in for the Heat. On the court for the Heat, Dang and Freak, and it's Whiteside in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
Well, there's a certain amount of confidence you have when the ball is in his hands at that end of the floor right now. I mean, he just gives you a sense of calm and confidence because of how good he is.
That's good. Randolph's got 5. The Heat leading by 5. Freak with it. He's got 22. Doubled by Conley. The 19-foot shot. Offensive rebound.
Yeah, great look, but disappointing with a miss.
Boy, what happened on that one, Greg? I mean, that's almost an automatic shot for him.
No one covering. And now just a 3-point Miami lead. Miami's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the third. Freak. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Wright comes in for Zach Randolph. And Tony Allen subbed in for Jordan Adams. And then for Miami, Stoudemire comes in for Hassan Whiteside. And it's Gerald Green in for Luol Deng. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Conley kicks to Green. Back to Conley. The shot is off. Great D that time from Freak.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter. And how about that one-man fast break?
I love the power finish at the end of it, too.
Down low, and Wright with the basket on the assist by Conley. Wright's got his second bucket tonight.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
You're right, Clark. Just continue to pound it in the paint and get those easy points inside.
And it's Freak missing.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket. He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Conley kicks to Gasol. Pulled the shot a little up, but the bounce goes his way. Gasol's got 6 points.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. Freak is second.
Well, anytime you can be one of the best scorers in the league, that's special company and something you should be proud of. It's not easy to do on a consistent basis to be amongst the scoring leaders.
Hansbrough's checked in for Memphis. And Miami with a change here, too. Winslow's checked in. And it's Conley penetrating. They kick it out to Green. Cranes the three-pointer. Green's got 13 points.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
And it's Wright sending it back. They get it back, and he gets it to go. The Grizzlies trail by 3. There's a screen by Hansbrough. Over in the corner, Green. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense.
Take up.
The Grizzlies shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight. And the technical free throw is good. A different look for Miami. Jarnell Stokes, he's checked in for Bosch. And it's Dragic in for Freak. On defense, the Heat. They've led by as many as 11 points. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Conley. Can't tie it up. The Grizzlies with some changes. Marcus All's checked in for Green. Allen Bear comes in for Allen. Zach Randolph is subbed in for Mike Conley. Wright is out there with Dallenberg. And it's Marc Gasol. Then it's Zach Randolph. And it's Hansbrough in at the 2 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low.
You notice I didn't even say that word. What's that word?
Hey guys, on today's episode of NBA 2K TV, we show you some never-before-seen footage from this season. Of course, you can earn some VC with 2K TV Interactive. And show off your 2K TV thanks submissions. Tune in now.